What do you mean? I thought we were live. That's
we
why I
are
opened
live.
that
Ladies
beer.
and gentlemen, May 16th, 2024, Canoga Park, California. We're at 2LaneLIVE headquarters out here. And if you're wondering what happened here, I ran into a screen door. This episode is brought to you by EagleRider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Don't forget to check out 2LaneLIVE.com under the EagleRider tab to see how you can book a trip, save some money, and, have a good time while you're at it. Boys, we got some updates before we get into it today. Huh?
Well, before we get into anything, you said you were in a bar fight.
I was lying
Was it a
about
screen
one
door?
of them. One of them. It was a bar fight with a screen door.
Did you say welcome, lady and gentlemen? Do we only have 2 viewers?
If you look at our demographic,
Yes.
that would suggest it's true.
Okay,
Our data.
fine. If
Fine.
that's how you want to be.
So
That's
So a couple things. Next week, I think it's 2. What day is that?
let me
Hold
tell
on.
you, I got a calendar right here,
Uh,
champ.
The Bike Shed Cardo event.
That
Is that
is
Tuesday?
on Tuesday the 20th at, is it Roland Sands? Oh, it's at the
No,
Bike Shed.
At
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bike Shed.
Okay.
wait a second. When's the 20th?
That's on a Tuesday.
Tuesday next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
So this Tuesday. Whoa.
So we're excited to be there. I think Shannon's going to roll down with us, but they're doing a launch. We did a little piece for them today. It's their 20th year in business. So congratulations to them. We'll hope to see some of you down there as well. They're launching a new product as well, which I'm excited to be, kind of grabbing onto. Apparently the speakers are like the biggest they've had.
And there's some other thing. I don't know if we can talk about it, but there's some other things. you
Yeah,
know?
they'll get into the specifics there, but so I'm excited to see this new product and cool to be part of that kind of family and go down and see that.
Yeah,
the
that is great.
20th. Okay, it must be the
21st.
Let me check because
Mon-
Chris is putting us on the spot right now. 20th is a Monday.
Yeah, so you had the calendar. 21st is Tuesday.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's anyway.
So back in 20 years ago, when the first Cardo came out, it actually was rotary. It had a little knob. You had to go.
I don't think that's
you
true.
Spun it up, and then you got to talk.
I don't think that's true. You and I knew each other, and you had a can, and I had a can, and we had a string.
So it was a string. You just had to ride close. Okay, I got it.
Well, 10 feet apart.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
could.
Did it ever drag on the concrete as you were ripping down the road?
It might have.
And then what else was it? Was it Law Tigers that was doing the bike giveaway?
Law Tigers is doing 2 things, and I'm
Wow.
going to get into that. Sorry I have to read this, but Law Tigers, the first thing they're doing is their biggest giveaway of the year, and you guys should jump in on this. What it is, it's called Stylin' in Sturgis. Every year, and we just announced our relationship with them starting back in February, so we're new to this a little bit as well. But every year they're providing at least one motorcycle and a trip to Sturgis to one lucky rider.
That's pretty awesome.
So the contest info, here we go. One lucky rider will win a custom-built performance bagger,
Wow.
courtesy of Law Tigers. The 2022 Harley-Davidson Road Glide will be built by Lane Splitter's Garage with parts from Trask Performance, J&P Cycles, Rockford Fosgate, and more.
Wow.
So that bike is going to be built. Pretty cool. Winner also gets VIP camping accommodations at the Sturgis at Glencoe Camp Resort. I think our buddy Jason has something to do with that.
Yeah.
Custom products from Magnum Research, a shopping spree to Anvil's Cache, and $2,000 from cash from Law Tiger. So entries close June 21st. So you're going to want to pay attention to this. Link to enter www.stylinsturgis.com.
And I will put that in. I'll put it in the chat, the live chat right now.
And we should do a story or 2 on that over the next couple of weeks.
We should, and we will.
Why don't you drop the link in that whoever wins the bike, if we happen to put our address up, they can just stay the whole time with us in Deadwood at the house.
I'm actually busy that day.
And then the other thing, and I don't know that it's all booked up, but it might be an interesting thing for people. We've seen some of the other guys, Adam Sandoval, I think the Henri Biker did it, but the High Seas Rally. So if you want to check into that, it's a rally out on the sea and a big cruise ship, and a lot of vendors go. Like Brian Clock and them were there last year or the year before, if not both. So another thing from the community, if you want to look into that. And then there's 2 other things that are going to be happening for us over the next 2 months. One, we're going to go to the Live Fast Rally, which I believe is June 1st, that Saturday. Next week, we'll also have Grant Peterson in from Born Free. That is the 23rd and 24th, I believe. We'll have to just confirm those dates when Josh gets back in his chair.
And we are going to Born Free ourselves.
Born
We're going to
Free
hang
will-
out there on a Saturday.
And Grant's going to come talk about it next
Yeah.
week. So
That's cool.
what do we have the following Thursday?
Bill Davidson.
Yes.
He's going to be on our live, and you saw his sister Karen on our live. Well, he's going to be on the live. It's going to be a fun time, and we'll bring him in via StreamYard because he's going to be in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the dates here. Let me paste them in the
22nd, 23rd, 24th for Born Free.
And this, Galen, I hate to say this word around you, but this answer when I typed it into Google was AI.
No, we don't need AI.
Born Free
Anderson
Show
influence.
number 15, June 22nd through 23rd, 2024 in Oak Canyon Park, Silverado, California.
You
There
want to
have
throw
it.
up Live Fast?
Yes, I will do that in a minute.
Actually, right now, all 3 of us are holograms. We are. This whole thing's AI. We're
What?
holograms, so we're not even real.
Also, just so we know, we just hired a second editor and everything helper guy, and just to find out this whole time I've been using AI to edit the videos, and I just sit and dick around all day. I do nothing. Raph, do you want to hop in behind them real quick and just show your face?
No.
Here's Ralph.
This is Ralph. He's the man,
Get
the
in
myth, the
there.
legend.
I mean, if you call here and you hear, that's the voice you're going to hear on the other end of the phone.
Yes, sir.
One of the 4 of us, we're trying to get him up to speed on parts and motorcycle builds and all sorts of stuff, but we're glad to have him. And he comes with a background of AI, should I say.
In fact, he was a hologram just a minute ago.
In fact, he worked for EagleRider. So we got a
I heard he was born in a lab.
He was born in a lab in a petri dish.
What was you said? So Live Fast.
Live Fast, June 1st, I believe that. We're going to be at both those events. We'll be there on Saturdays. Live Fast, I think, is only Saturday, but then we'll be at Born Free on that Saturday as well. So if you want to come up and say hi, come
June
take
1st.
a picture, we're in.
All right. So now we can get into the nitty gritty. I forget what I titled this thing, but we have new bikes. Tomorrow we're making pretty big changes to those new bikes that are long
The
awaited.
build starts.
We just got back from an East Coast trip. We landed in New Jersey, in Newark, and then we rode out to where? Galen's still freaked out by the
Pennsylvania.
AI. All right.
Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. We got to see a little bit of all of it. It was really some fantastic history. Met some cool people, but the history itself was pretty phenomenal.
Well, what I've said it, I think, in every drop so far, and I probably should just stop saying it, but I'm not going to until it stops. But what I've been saying is we've done a lot of firsts this year, and even places that we've traveled through before, like the Petrified Forest, we've ridden by that 100 times.
Right.
And we never stopped. And this year we were able to do that. And I thought it was really cool to fly into Newark and get over to the dealership there, the Staten Island dealership. We were almost minus a bike, and Marvel Kid and Sal, some guys from back east, jumped in and said they had a bike for us, and it was a bagger. And so really cool for that. But last minute, EagleRider was able to procure a bike for Josh. And I'm going to go day one, and you can take day one too, and then we'll go the rest. But I love meeting up with John and just riding up in northern New Jersey and northern Pennsylvania. And then next thing I know, we're at the Delaware River.
Yeah, that was great.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, the scenery was awesome. I mean, the trees and there was rolling hills. It's funny though, when we're there and it's like elevation, and it was below 1,000 feet in most places. And we talked to a guy that said, yeah, that mountain up there is 1,400 feet. We're used to anywhere from 2,500 to 10,000 feet,
Yeah.
So that was different, but it was great to see John, and it was fun.
And that day, it kind of reminded me of as we're running through the roads there, a little bit of like Kentucky little bit of Missouri, just the tree canopied areas and the light sprinkles that come through in the shade, and the roads were really clean.
Bridges.
Yeah, and we weren't going too fast because there are a lot of cars, a fair amount of cars on them. But man, it was a beautiful day, and I didn't, I didn't know what was going to top that off. But Jeff shows up that night at the house with some Stromboli.
Yeah, that was pretty
Dude,
gnarly.
wasn't that great?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Stromboli has had more of a life-changing effect than most other things in the past 10 years of my life.
Especially in the bathroom, right?
It was pretty good.
Well, and he has a favorite place that he goes to, and he said it's all in the dough and the cheese. And I mean, this one had a pepperoni and ham to it as well.
And it was oily, and that made it taste really good. I mean, it was just like, it was thick.
I mean, I'd run to the store in the morning to get some breakfast stuff for us, but we didn't have anything else. And it was like, maybe that was the next morning, but he brought a whole thing full of alcohol too.
Yes.
Like whiskeys and beers. And I mean, we didn't have to go anywhere. It was just nice to relax with him and Patty.
Right.
And chill out that night.
Good time. Actually, we saw Patty at the last of the trip too, when he was already on his way to Florida. But anyway, that was awesome. We had a really cool house in Phoenixville. I mean, the Airbnb there and the people that own it were really gracious and nice. And we had a nice garage to keep our stuff in. I think we got one. We really didn't get rained on.
Not too bad. A little bit here and there, but it wasn't bad enough to suit up and boot up. But
a little humid.
It was a little humid on the last day, but the next day, you guys saw I think you probably saw some of the footage of us riding down the street at a slow speed with horses behind us. And that next day was filled with Fletcher Street. And you go down into this area of Philadelphia it's a little depressed in there. And all of a sudden this gate opens up and you see all this beauty and colors, and the stables and the grounds there were immaculate.
It was cool.
And L-Dog's got those kids working, and I really enjoyed that part of it.
I mean, the cool thing is we're checking out Valley Forge, Gettysburg, these cool different historic sites, small towns along the way. And you go in there, you have lunch. But when you go to Fletcher Street and you ride into the neighborhood, and it is definitely, you're not in nature anymore. You're in downtown Philadelphia. The neighborhood is, like you said, a little depressed, but kind of wonderful in its own way. And people said, hey, you're going there. I don't know if I'd go there, but once we got in there and got into the street, it was really great. I mean, I was glad we went there, and it was such a cool experience and different than anything we've ever done.
I don't know how many people are going to watch the documentary.
A lot.
But
everybody.
I would really encourage people to watch that documentary, because we've got some kids in there talking about why they're involved and how they got involved. And we've got a historian that's talking about it. We've got L-Dog himself.
He's 83 years old.
We had the whole family there. It's just, amazing. And then, towards the end there, we were giving the kids some rides on the bikes going around the block, and that was pretty crazy. And the kids were just having a blast. And then it was kind of a rainy day that day.
Right.
And so
Misty.
they didn't get as many people there as they would on a sunny day, but there were a couple different carloads, and I didn't really notice it at first. And then the last carload I saw of people coming in, it was a mom and a grandmother with a couple kids, and the kids that are part of the club, they just snap to attention, and they get these kids on these horses, and then they walk them inside, and the smiles on, and there's two kids on each side of the horse, and the smile on the faces are being ridden around or led around, priceless. I mean, it was amazing.
But the cool thing is they teach these young kids respect. They teach them how to be with elders. And every kid that got off of our bikes said, thank you.
They did.
Yeah.
And if someone didn't say it, the other kids would say, did you say thank you?
Yeah. So it was really cool. We got to see the inner city stable. And what is the state in Philadelphia? It's called something about equestrian or horses.
It's an equine friendly city.
So you can ride anywhere.
They have riders all over the place, and
Yeah.
there are other clubs as well that are around. We just happened upon this group because we liked what L Dog's doing with the youth, but look, they had a across the street where there was a pretty big apartment complex that used to be their area to graze the horses and stuff, and so to watch these guys ride, and they're riding in the streets, they're not in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
And when I say equine friendly, it really speaks to the cars stop for them. Pedestrians stop for them and let the horses have their right of way. So we're told.
Well, yeah. And what about the couple days before we got there? One of the horses got out on I-90, and the police were out. Everyone had to get the horse corralled back in and get it back off the freeway.
And he was going the wrong direction.
Right.
He was fighting traffic, but the video was crazy. He was hauling ass.
Yeah.
He was moving.
So it's really great. It teaches young kids how to be responsible for animals, clean up after themselves. It was a really an experience I'll never forget.
And we took one day, the following day, that Sunday, Jeff is the only day really he could be with us the whole day. We just decided, since it was raining, let's just jump in some cars. And we just spent the day down in Philadelphia. We went around to the different markets. We went to the Liberty
Eating a
Bell.
lot.
We did do that. We went to the Liberty Bell. We went to the Hall of Congress. I mean, and then, we ended it kind of with Gino and Pat's and actually met
that was cool
family
too.
Members from Pat's,
yeah,
and have him on camera.
It's all in video. You can see all this coming up. I don't know, when are you going to start editing this, Josh? Is this the next round?
I've been meaning to ask. I need a 1 month paid vacation.
Sorry.
Okay. So this coming Wednesday is the first episode where we fly into Newark and we ride out with John to a secret destination.
Very cool. Very
secret
cool
destination.
But one thing, you go into Philadelphia, you go into where America's was born, where it happened, the Declaration of Independence, everything that happened by these young men who put this all together. I mean, the people back then were strong, resilient. If you go there and you don't feel the love and the spirit for this country, I don't know how you can't. Because when you're there, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That was pretty interesting to see.
The submarine tour is still open.
Yeah, he came by here.
Right. I know. Yep. We need to do that.
The submarine tour.
Remember the submariner that came in and said, "Hey, anytime you're out my direction, I'm going to get you on a sub."
Yes, that would be interesting as well.
Gino and Pat's are for tourists. Best Philly cheesesteak in Reading Market.
We did eat.
We were actually tourists.
It was a touristy thing, but we did it.
And we did eat in Reading Market, which was also where
that was
the pastrami sandwich and the corned beef and the brisket, and that was deep.
Right. And we did run up the stairs.
We did
at Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the next day we're in Valley Forge and learning about George Washington and Martha Washington and grabbing the handrail that they grabbed up, and just to see that. And I was blown away by Valley Forge, but I think we were maybe not going to go to Gettysburg because it was like, it's 2 hours there and we've got to do this. And I'm so glad we did, because that actually blew me away to see the monuments. And
it was great.
I could not believe it.
We cannot ever not, if we don't follow our slogan, if you don't go, you won't know.
Right.
And that's what we did. But the grounds at Valley Forge and Gettysburg, just beautiful, pristine. And when you're standing up on a knoll in that area at Gettysburg, and you're looking out over and you can see where the battles happen, and they have markers where every different state was and where the battles happened, and you feel this energy, it's chilling.
Well, there's a massive monument there, and it represents the state of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
See, Josh, I said it.
I might have said it wrong too a minute ago.
But getting up on top of that, and then up, they had these dials along the kind of walkway in the area where you lean over, and the dials had these arrows and pointed in the direction, like 1.5 miles. And it talked about the field or the peach groves or the, like, so, skirmishes happen around. I don't know if that's a skirmish or whatever, but these little things happen in those fields. And then to kind of just fill the ground there. I mean, there's a reverence that, and a powerful, at least for me, it wasn't, I think for you as well, but, and to see like even that little house that they turned into a hospital,
Right.
It was teeny. Where did they put all the people? They just put them out
all
over the place.
You know, when you look at it and like I say, how massive, I mean, picture the chaos that was going on there and the battles and the noise and
cannonballs and this kind of wild fighting just in front of each other.
It's really moving. It's really amazing. And everybody who lives in this country should see it. And again, around the world,
100%
should see this place, because there's something beautiful, even though it was really an ugly place at one point when death was happening.
And I'm not sure, because I don't have young kids anymore. I don't know what the curriculum is, and how they teach history today, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, like, I forgot how much I forgot. Like, you don't realize, like, Ben Franklin organized a meeting with George Washington and this French general, and they actually started the playbook on the Army handbook on how to fight.
Right.
And it wasn't this, let's stand in front of each other.
Right.
It was, let's take the aggression and let's do the surprise. And the British didn't like that at all. They just wanted to fight in front of me. And it's like,
it was unhonorable too.
I mean, there were 3 days on the battleground. We were there, and 55,000 either died, 28,000 on each side, roughly 23 and 20, something like that, either died, were lost, or were wounded. I mean, 50,000 people in 3 days.
That's
pretty crazy.
Amazing.
And you were saying at that time in Vietnam or the Korean.
Vietnam was 58,000.
Yeah.
That passed away.
So, wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Wild.
That's amazing. But is
that a true fact?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
fact checker.
Yeah.
Fact check.
Just getting out, seeing this country on a motorcycle. You can do it in a car too, whatever your means are to do it. But on a motorcycle, you get into it, and it's that old time machine. You feel like you're going into an area, and then you drive through this, or you ride through this air, and then all of a sudden you're there. And then your mind can create and have fun and imagine it. Your imagination wanders, and you're in the battle.
My imagination wandered when I was looking at all the clothes hanging up when we were going through the Amish.
Yes.
I mean, buggies and scooters, and still doing that. We saw a guy. So if someone knows, we saw a guy out there in the countryside where it was completely Amish. He was mowing his lawn with a gas mower. So is that?
I heard that there are certain sects of Amish that use cell phones now.
Oh.
But only. I'm not going to.
Only if they have to make a call.
Only if it's related to like family business.
I forget what it is, but like only the men are allowed to use it, and only if it benefits. I don't know, but I've seen it on the internet.
Don't know the rules, but I just didn't. I thought they'd be out there with like a manual mower or something.
Our guy Jason Belsky said 58,000 is in fact a fact.
I don't think it's a fact. I think it was 58,274. If I'm not mistaken.
All right. Yeah. Distraction is key to money.
Yeah.
Evil, Knievel, concerts. Yep.
We rode a lot of cool 2 lanes or through the mountains and hills.
Well, we went to New Hope, and then we crossed the Delaware, and we didn't even realize Jersey Estate was right there. So we went and had lunch in Jersey, North New Jersey. Was it Elizabethtown or something like that?
Yeah,
Elizabethville.
I think so.
Had a great lunch and then walked back. And then we rode up on the Jersey side of the Delaware, crossed over, and rode up the Pennsylvania side of the Delaware. And you just think about the history on that river.
No.
I mean, the Delaware Gap, Washington's Crossing, all those So I was just kind of in the zone, and we're on these little roads, so it's not like you're doing it 80 miles an hour.
Right. We were doing more like 79 and a half,
Maybe
to
60,
90.
but hairpin turns and some different things. But I think I could tell Teresa and Laura were talking a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And they were just looking at the,
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful.
I think what's interesting about the East Coast is the density of the history. Whereas out in the West, there might have been a lot of historical stuff that happened in between here and there, and this trail is well known. But out there, it felt like this city is known for that. This bridge is known for that. This crossing is known for that. And it was just endless. You
Well,
know?
Philadelphia with its industry and everything that happened in this state of Pennsylvania I didn't know it had that much history. It was pretty gnarly.
Oh, the Mennonites. See, we saw a Mennonite as well, I thought.
Yeah,
but
for those that are just listening, John Lasley says, I believe the Mennonites that live within the Amish community are the ones that still believe in the old traditional practice of faith, but also use electricity and modern vehicles.
Well, I think
They
in
can
honor of
ride a
them,
Harley-Davidson.
in honor of them, I will shave my mustache off only, and I will go for that look of
could
the
pull
big
it
beard
off.
with no mustache.
I don't
Yeah.
think you could pull it off.
Get the top hat instead of the cowboy hat.
I would like to thank Jesse Shaw and Stonebrook. Now look at this. This is one dish batch series, and it's a Mocha IPA.
That sounds kind of good, Mocha. Has anyone been to
Whoa.
Jim Thorpe? That,
I have.
yes, we have been to Jim Thorpe. What a cool little town. Buildings, old buildings, history, and everything in the town. If you want a massage, go to the Jim
Oh.
Thorpe massage. You know,
What?
they have everything is named after him. Every store or business, they really play on the Jim Thorpe
Boys,
history. Yes.
guess what?
What?
We've got
Beer money?
the next best thing behind beer money is the one and only Scuba Steve.
No way.
Yeah.
Wild hog.
He's back.
He's back.
Steve, Lance and I are 3 days sober, but Galen is still
3
getting it done
days
for you. I went to a bachelor party over the weekend. Give me a break. I'm joking.
Lance didn't. Hey,
Yeah, I know.
Scuba, I got some news for you. My guys are just, I don't want to use the term, but it's kind of like a cat.
Oh, shit.
They're bailing on me, Scuba. And
we
I'm
haven't
the only
drank
one
in a
that-
long time.
He
Yeah.
says no worries. I think the case is closed.
I don't think so. Why don't you get on them a little bit? You used to watch us from the bar when we were on Instagram.
We used to
So,
do lives on Instagram.
I know, and he's responsible for the shot around the
The
world.
drinking.
Yeah. What's up, Junior? Yeah, the shot around the world.
Yo.
And you guys haven't had a shot in I don't know how long.
He's also actually I had one over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
And I immediately tossed it, and then I had another one.
Aha. Maybe that's how
I-
you ran into the screen door.
That it could be. You see that there? Scuba Steve is also, I think, the only human being on planet Earth to have a rad 2LaneLIVE tattoo. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, baby.
Yes, sir.
Better be back in business by homecoming. I will if we see you, I'll drink to that. Come on.
So anyway, wonderful trip video coming. If you haven't seen our video from yesterday's drop, we're in Solvang. Go check it out. Really cool. Laura and Teresa are fun. They had a good time.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
I can. The whole time the autofocus has been going in and out because of these incredibly nice cameras we use.
Oh.
I'm joking. Or the autofocus has been.
Oh,
going out.
thank you, Shannon. Come on over. So this is Jesse Shaw. I think we're going to turn that into the Shaw, right?
The Shaw shirt.
Maybe.
Let's see if we
Shawshank
can make
Redemption.
maybe a shirt out of that and give him some credit for it.
So you guys have to stay tuned because tomorrow we are heading out to Thrashin
Thrasher
Supply.
Magazine Supply Company.
Galen and I are going to be getting our handlebars, risers, footboards, all that good stuff. Josh already has the floorboards and brake arm and all that. So he's going to get his bar set up as well. But we're going to do our installs. We're going to share what we're doing. We're going to kind of pick what size risers and bars for the different types. We all may end up with the same, but it's whatever the preference is. We're going to share that with you. And the good thing about it is we're going to have a video about this build. And then after that's up and you guys are seeing it, if you're going to do some purchasing, you call us at 2LaneLIVE. We can walk you through a few things, but we've got the 24 platforms. The build has begun.
And to elaborate on that real quick, when we get to that video, we're going to show multiple riser and handlebar combos, which with each of us kind of sitting on the bike to give you guys a gauge of what bar setup will be ideal to your liking. You know what I mean?
Well, we've already kind of started. So I put you put the Legend arc on the rear of your bike.
Yeah.
2 days ago. I put the full exhaust from Cobra, True Dual with the 4.5-inch next gen 2 neighbor hater. It's a little loud. It's not as loud as my old neighbor haters, but we're gonna test that out. We put the Clockworks windshields on them. We put the fueling dipsticks, vented dipsticks on, and we put the crash guards on from Harley-Davidson. We've got tour packs from Harley-Davidson. I'm really excited for tomorrow because I just can't wait to get back to the T-bars, and I can't wait to get to that solid platform on the floorboard. So the cool thing is, what I think is cool is we've got most of the bars in stock now. We still need a few for the 24s. You're going to see our setups, and I think people are going to go right to that because you don't have an adapter plate. You don't have the top tree. You can go right to the
you don't need a gauge
stock
relocation.
top tree on the regular platform that we're on. You don't need to change out the mounts. You can put the floorboards right on them. And then Thrashin's coming up with a few more cool parts that will be out later in the year, and maybe a throttle thing. I mean, there's some cool stuff.
Well,
right?
we have the throttle tubes.
Yep.
That you need, linkage. A lot of the parts from the gas tank down, or even the handlebars, last year's parts were great.
Yep. For anyone wondering, I did the brake arm, linkage, easy shift, short shifter, shift tip, apex floorboards, and all that fit on just like it would on the previous generation.
I think we've been trying to get Shannon, go get yourself a new bike.
Yeah.
Join the club, buddy.
He did get a new bike.
KTM.
Yeah, he's happy. Unlike
I
want to ride that. Is he going to ride the Harley down to the shed with us, or is he riding the KTM?
So my brother has the same KTM, and I put my bike in my custom A fast mode and just dump clutch and burned out a little bit. And my brother was messing with me, and I was just fully pin tucked in third gear, and he just wheelies out of there with 175 horsepower.
How much does this KTM weigh? 250 pounds.
You're comparing apples to cigarettes.
So I mean, we're
what
digging
is an apple with a cigarette.
I was just trying to think of something different. I enjoy both from time to time.
Hey, we've
seen that in the comments on your video when you took 2 puffs off the cigarette.
So it's always an interesting thing. You get a new bike, and every few years we do this, and it's like you forget. Oh, I got to put my IO mount to hold the phone on the handlebars. All the little pieces that you keep adding. We sell them all, 2LaneLIVE.com.
He's riding.
And speaking of which, shout out to Bob Razzo because he ordered the 13-inch Harley heavy duty Revo A's for his Dyna from drumroll 2LaneLIVE.com. Thank you, Bobby boy.
So we're gonna have some good information for you guys in in a couple of weeks on video. I don't know when we're gonna drop that because Philadelphia is gonna be several drops. Maybe we throw it in between.
What, the bar thing?
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we got. The Philly is going to be at least 5 or 6 episodes of hopefully some pretty cool stuff.
So I'm excited. Can't wait because I'm really loving the 24 platform.
Same.
I started out with a Road King. I've had a couple street glides, couple road glides. Loved every bike I've ever had. Loved the one I just got rid of. But being on the new platform, I'm really stoked. I mean,
you know.
So Houston just sent a picture. He's at the Roadkill Cafe.
Oh, nice. Houston's the guy that comes in and he rides and
he's doing, I think, his first
he's on a road
trip right now.
He sent us a picture from the Roadkill Cafe in Seligman, Arizona.
I'm looking at
what are you looking at?
It was Razzo.
Yeah.
Robert, that's so cool. We saw that order come in just before we started the live. Thank you for that, my friend.
Very nice.
That means Josh can get 1 more week of pay.
I know.
And, I don't know if people know, but you can also, the slip-ons that we put on these bikes that are awesome. Galen has a full exhaust right now, but I'm going to do slip-ons, maybe full. I don't know what I'm doing. We sell the slip-ons. We can legally sell them in California. So
we can legally sell cannabis too.
Do we do that?
if we want.
I don't know.
Should we get some sort of endorsement for it and say that it improves your ability to ride motorcycle?
I think Johnny, my cousin, we're all cousins.
Oh, Jeter Johnny.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Jeter, we can work a deal with Jeter.
I mean,
Mhm.
maybe that's a Thursday live thing.
Yo.
Just get a little bit blasted and hang out.
Well, we've
speak.
had cigars in here with
We
Rooster,
have.
so maybe we should have a little.
I think the smoking part of it will be cigar only for me. I don't need to.
I don't need that either. That crazy stuff.
Yeah.
The edits might take quite a bit long, or maybe I don't know. We'll have to find out. With a disclaimer, correct, Mac? We do not actually legally endorse this.
No,
Just professional.
but I mean, I'm not. I did that a long time ago, and then I went and got some because I was getting some stuff for my mom of all people, some topical non CBD stuff, and I'm like, okay, can I order that? And they're like, yeah, just what do you want? I'm like, so I punched it up, put it in, went outside one night and just took the whole thing down. I'm just like,
Are you telling me that you
I
smoked
couldn't walk.
topical cream?
No, I
don't know if that's
smoked
how it
some
works.
bud that they gave me, and it was
Ah.
like I could not walk into my house. And then I got upstairs and I tried to act like with Teresa there was nothing wrong. And I laid in bed and I'm seeing flowers and mushrooms. I'm going, what is this stuff?
Wow,
And I had a little
Interesting.
panic attack.
that's fine.
So
Sounds like an
then
average Tuesday.
I was like, oh shit, you better calm yourself down. And so then I gave her a little piece of a gummy and she thought she was having a heart attack.
Call the cops,
Do
Galen.
we still have drug test kits here?
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is the Andersons should not do gummies or weed.
Yeah.
I just
That's
want to
it.
say, Galen, after our conversation in that market with that young gentleman
Yes.
who you gave a compliment to about his career path and his voice, Road King dude says Galen has the ultimate radio voice. So does that mean it takes one to know one?
Maybe.
Well, I've been doing this for quite a while. And
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, actually, what's really funny?
Yeah.
I actually put Lance on a commercial for my bank at one point.
Huh.
I had him come down and read,
So I had to
You remember
read
that?
a radio spot. Yes, I do remember.
and then
that.
I read.
Yeah. That was interesting.
But hey, that was when I was making money, and now I'm dirt poor.
Nobody ever puts me on
He's
the
a
radio.
dirt poor stoner now.
Mexico peyote ride. You got that right.
Yeah,
Yogurt.
Danger Dan.
I'm gonna be riding a right foot shift
That's right.
iron head and
I
be
know, but
just
Danger Dan
ripping
was
on
one
some
time
peyote.
peyote.
Well, that's could be bedtime stories. All right.
So let's get into kind of what's happening over the next 60 days. I mean, so we did this beautiful ride to Philadelphia. We are leaving here July. We're going to do a Bodie trip. We're going to try to do that at the end of June.
Yeah.
Right. Bodie is this, if you haven't heard about it, go look it up. It's this incredible true ghost town where people just actually picked up and left.
BODIE.
Yeah, you go into these buildings and you can see their remnants and remains of stuff that they left behind.
Silverware plates.
It's just, so we want to do that maybe June Lake. We may try to get the young guns with that,
Yep.
have a good time. But then we're going to be gone for 21 days in July and August. And we're starting it off. I want to thank Harley-Davidson, but we're doing a dealer tour. And we'll talk a bit more about the dealers that we're going to, but we're going to start off on the 20th. I think it's safe to say Red Rock Harley is going to be our first stop. I was
Yes.
confirmed on that today by some
All right.
Is that
people at Red Rock.
is that replacing?
No. And then we're going to do something in Utah, my hometown. So we hope to get a lot of people coming out, taking pictures, kissing babies, doing the whole thing. And then we're going to work our way. It's going to take us 6 days on the road. We'll do 5 dealership tours. We're going to end up in Milwaukee. We're doing the homecoming. There's a big meet and greet with all the YouTube people out there. So at Veterans Park, you'll want to come do that. We have a special meeting on that next week with a couple of really special guests. I think we'll be at the museum filming.
They're
Which
so
is,
special.
Yes.
Did we say their names?
We're not saying that.
Well,
yet.
we're not. Okay,
No,
gotcha.
not
Good
yet.
Just
thing
a-
I almost did.
not
A
yet.
quick logistical question. You
Yes.
did say we'll be there, and there will be baby. Are we bringing the babies, or are they bringing the babies?
No, they bring them.
Okay.
We kiss
Gotcha.
them.
Okay. Say that one more time for the camera.
They bring them. We kiss them.
All right. Good man.
So that the whole mission of this journey across the country in dealer stops is to end up in Milwaukee at the homecoming. So come to homecoming and see us. We'll be there
But if
hanging
you
out.
can't get to homecoming, come see us at one of these dealerships, and we'll typically be there in the later afternoon, probably 3 to 4 range, and we'll stay there for a couple of hours and take pictures, shake hands, hand out whatever garb we have, and then because we want that to be part of the fun, and maybe we'll get a charitable contribution or something going as well to help with that. And we're going to have there's a couple other folks that are doing the same. I think Tiffany Ray's coming out of Florida. I think Adam's doing something that's going to be longer than what we're doing, Sandoval. And I think John from Cycle Fanatics is going to be coming out of New York. And we're all going to converge into Milwaukee. Should be great.
It'll be a good time. And then the trip continues after we're at homecoming for the weekend. We're going to head over from Milwaukee to Sturgis. We're going to go hang out in Sturgis. So it's going to take us a few days to get there from Milwaukee to Sturgis, then be in Sturgis. So 21 days on the 2 lanes.
Yeah,
Tiffany's
I think
coming
we'll
from
take
Tiffany
ahead.
Ray
North
said
Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Sorry. Okay, she's on. Hey, Tiffany.
She is watching.
So, and then it doesn't end there. I mean, we always look forward to Sturgis. It's going to be a great time. But after that, Durango.
Well, but this from the Milwaukee to Sturgis, we're going to try to take kind of a historic route.
Yes.
And maybe a couple spots where the Davidsons have
Yeah.
gone. And I'm going to miss the guys though.
Yeah, it's a great thing, but it's a bummer because we're not going to be with the Thrashin guys, which is our favorite for the last 8 to 10 years, riding to Sturgis with the boys and having a good time. It's the journey there is a wonderful time, and we're going to miss that, but we're going to be with them in Sturgis.
Yeah. And then I think on Sunday, there's going to be a really cool ride that we're doing.
Yep.
And then I think in the afternoon, if you guys are coming out to Sturgis, I would try to end up in Deadwood. I think around 3 or 4 o'clock, there's going to be on Sunday, that first Sunday of, I don't know what that first Sunday is, but it's like the 3rd or 4th, I think.
5th, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Medicine will ride. I think there's going to be a bunch of different things happening. And so I think that's where we're going to end up is Outlaw Square.
But in the morning, aren't we riding with
Yeah, we got
Lance
a
and
cool
Juan
ride.
to do tacos and end up at Outlaw Square with them?
We'll end up in the afternoon at Outlaw Square. Yeah. So be there or be square.
Right.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
And then we'll jet home. And then, yes, at the end of August, we're going to be up at the Durango rally. We're talking with them. When did we set that up? Next week?
Yep. Next week, we're on the phone with them. But it's already inked.
Yeah, there may be. We're talking to them about doing kind of an entry and get to ride with 2LaneLIVE, and we'll take people up to Silverton for lunch. But all the proceeds will go to a good cause there for we're talking about the Durango that have served. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, this is our busiest season I think we've ever had. Not in the beginning, but the end is crazy.
There's Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Bruce.
I believe Bruce is from Maine.
Wow.
We enjoyed
Bruce was at the Maine Harley dealership when we turned the bikes in.
When we did our Milwaukee to Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe. If I'm wrong, Bruce, let me know.
Richard Grove says, hey guys, just want to thank you for the inspiration of riding yesterday. I went 384 miles through a redwood tree down Highway 1, Fort Bragg, and home. Thank you for inspiring me to do that.
Very nice.
Good job, Richard.
Well done. Man. Well done.
Road King dude ordered a hat holster. Now he just needs a hat. Good man. Those are almost out, surprisingly.
They sold out. Well, we have still a good amount left, but they pretty much sold out so fast. And it's funny because the video that we did and Josh put up I mean, it's over 3 million.
Yeah, it's probably at 4 million on Instagram, Facebook did a bunch, YouTube did a bunch, and it's like 80-20 split. 20% obviously has never worn or owned a hat based on their commentary. And oh man, shout out to Chris Lopez. We've got ourselves some beer money. Thank you, Chris. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Chris.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm gonna leave that up for a
And
little
Bruce
bit.
said Virginia City, so it was
Yeah,
Bryce
Virginia Beach.
that was in
Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. It
So-
was Bryce that was
Gotcha.
in Maine.
The funny thing about the hat holster is the comments. Some of the comments, most of the comments are great, but some of the comments are so, I mean, I can't say it any other way, fucking stupid. I
Yep.
can't believe people come up with some of the shit they say and the put down and cut down and
We
what
don't
they
use
say
the F
about
word
it.
on
Well,
this
you
show.
want to know how those guys start their day? They pour their coffee just like anyone else, and then they think, I'm gonna go try and shit on something, making it for themselves instead of relying on someone else.
Well, the one that
And
catches
making something cool that solves a problem. I'm gonna go shit on those people.
the one that catches my eye more than any is there's a dude out there that has a small company, a knife company, builds knives. He has like, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 subscribers on Instagram. So he's a small business owner. So he must know what it takes to do small business, or maybe he doesn't. And he had the nerve to like use the
Well,
craziest comment.
Mr. Perry White said it best. You can't fix stupid.
You can't, Perry.
I do have just something in my mind right now. The whole beer money thing.
Please let your mind explore.
What if every time we got a beer money, we cracked a beer? We might not be able to drive home, but we might get a lot of beer money.
Well,
might ruin your program, but Galen might be able to
the
keep up.
problem
with it.
is you can't. None of you can drink, so I'll need to be bitch on your bike.
So then you'll crack 3 beers every time we get beer
Yeah.
money. That's
Yeah, you
fine.
could do it.
That's fine.
I can do it. So you guys are like I don't understand what your problem is with the haters. Like it doesn't matter.
I love the haters.
It's okay. Like we laugh at it. But here's the thing where it gets me.
All right.
I get the small knife guy. I don't get it.
Right.
But at least we could see that he has 3,000 followers and he's active. What I don't get is like the guy that commented today about makeup and all this other and dildos and stuff, right?
Right.
You go to respond to that person like
Says you
that's
can't
original.
respond. Yeah.
Like and
Hey.
you can't because they're private.
Right.
And then you go to their page and they have 0 followers
Right.
and they have
Hey.
0 posts. It's like so this is where I'm at with it, because here's where I think society is so messed up today. This device has totally screwed us, right? And now you can be like the big bully in the shop. You can't comment to them, you can't see any of their followers, and yet they're making derogatory like, is that how you wake up in the morning? Like, I'm going to make a fake account today and I'm going to go find 10 people and I'm just going to spew shit at them.
They need to mow their lawn more.
They need to go, you know what?
The internet is
In
a
the
weird
old days,
place.
think about this.
True that.
We used to get ringworm because we'd play in a sandbox.
Right.
I would like those people to go play in a sandbox and get ringworm. I
And
think it would be great.
But think about it.
Galen-
One of the comments was said also, here's a great product that was made out of 0 necessity and no one needs it. The funny thing is the son of a bitch was made out of necessity because I wanted to carry my hat. And yes, it does fit in the tour pack. It doesn't fit in the saddlebag. A lot of people say, put it in your saddlebag. I don't want to wreck the hat.
Not only that, so when you first started riding,
Yes.
how far did you ride?
Not that far.
60 miles?
Right.
Today, when you ride, how far do we ride?
If it's not 300, I don't even know why we
In a
left.
day, but
Right.
but we don't usually go for a day.
Right.
So we're 2,000, 3,000 miles a trip.
Yeah.
Do you need clothes?
Yes.
Where do you put your clothes? In a saddlebag holder?
Well,
Should
that
we
was
create a
that was the main
clothes
comment.
holster so the hat can go in the saddlebag and then you can put all your clothes on your back. Should we do
Yeah,
it that way.
that'll work.
That'd be cool.
That was the main comment I would respond to people saying that on at least YouTube and Instagram was, it'd be a shame if you'd ever rode out of your zip code or something like that. Like,
Right.
it's very fairly obvious you never have. Now, to end this on a positive note, We do, in fact, have more beer money. Thanks, Ralph.
Yeah,
You're the man.
$4.99.
Thanks, Ralph. Hey, but one thing I got to say, when we
One
get
penny
comments, most are good, but when we do get the bad ones, we're just out here trying to bring great stuff to the motorcycle community that we all love. We're out here. We love riding. We want to share the positive energy and help people. That's why we do it.
First of all, I agree, but we don't typically run any part. We don't typically take on a seat or we want to test it.
Right.
And we've had 4 years of people asking where you put the hat, which I don't understand because you have a tour pack.
Right.
And that's where it had generally resided.
Right.
But a year and a half ago, you took the tour pack off and you wanted your hat. So you were creative enough to find a piece that you could put on your vest. And so for a year and a half, we kind of teased people with that because people are saying, where do I get that?
Right.
And we decided as a group, let's build something, let's create something that can be universal to everyone. It can be worn over a t-shirt. It can be worn over a winter parka. It can be worn by a 380-pound man.
Right. Right.
It can be worn by a 120-pound man.
Right.
It can be worn by a woman. So we decided to put our creative energy around that. And I think have created something that's pretty cool that someone's probably going to steal at the end of the day.
Right.
But for now, I don't know. I mean, the 250 we've sold already.
Right. Gone.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to be small business guys
and
support our travel, support our ability to give you good content. That's all.
While we're doing that,
You
can check it out at 2LaneLIVE.com if you want to see what it looks like.
Even if you don't own a hat.
I got a gripe. You want to hear my gripe?
Yeah.
I just got to scroll and find it. It's been on my mind.
Give me a gripe.
I got a gripe. Just give you talk.
While you're finding that gripe, according to the people on the interweb, anyone that wears a hat holster is a gay dildo using guy.
Well, we don't agree with that.
No, not at all.
That's not unprofessional. That's just a comment.
That's not even fact checked.
Yeah.
Here we go. And I'm just saying this to be funny because I'm sure he's just joking, but it says must be rough to ride around the country and get paid from sponsors and social media. Tough life. For the 3% of the business that accounts for, you're right. Tough life. Does sponsorship at all cover the expenses of those trips? Not really. Does it keep the lights on here? Absolutely not. Can it keep a roof over my head? Nope. Can it make Galen broker? I don't know. So just to account for, there's a lot more shit that goes on behind the scenes that
tons of stuff
I could have never ever fathomed before entering this realm. So
and guess what? We created it.
Yeah, baby.
We created our road, our pathway, our destination. We are out riding. We're doing what we want to do because we work hard to do that. End of story, right?
Well, I mean, I'll answer it this way. When we started this, it was because we wanted to tell people the stories that you and I were hearing as we were out riding together.
Right.
And what keeps me going, I think what also keeps you going is the fact that now the stories that we get about people that are inspired to ride by us, or they got back on their Harley again, or they bought their first Harley, or their father was in bed with cancer and was watching our drops, and that's the only thing that brought happiness to him. And I mean, these are just endless stories that we have, and that's more inspirational to me. And I'll eat into my savings a little bit more because I think we've talked about fate a lot. And I think what we're presenting and what we're giving back is more than we're giving or that we've got, and it's like, I don't mind giving back more that way because I think it's a community. We need to help each other. And in this world that we're in today, the help isn't there as much, but you go to these small towns and the stories are endless.
Well,
abundant.
Yeah. And, we have worked very hard. We have a store, we have a studio, we have people from around the world that come and visit us every week in our store. You can ride up, you can buy parts. We created something. We work for it.
And to touch on Galen's note, we actually had a guy call today. I think it was Tommy. He called about fitment and parts, double checking the brake arm fits his bike, and then asking about floorboards. And he actually told me because of our videos, his wife went from not wanting to ride to being a passenger to now riding her own bike with him around town to now touring all over the country with him on her own bike. And he's seen more than bar hopping. And that made my day.
So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
And thank you for the comment,
yeah.
Tiffany. You keep doing what you're doing as well. You've done a great job.
And Ralph also said he bought the hat holster out of spite and doesn't even have a hat. So thank you, Ralph.
Hey, Ralph, when you're over, I'll show you how you can hook that baseball cap, the SoCal Squatcher baseball cap to it.
Right.
Very easy.
Maybe you can carry a rack of hats that way.
A rack of hats?
Yeah, you know,
From Iraq?
like you know how when you take baseball caps, you take like 6 to 10 of them.
Oh, and I just snap them all together?
Just, you know.
I could do that. Where are we at, Josh?
We are at 55 minutes and
All right.
29, 30 seconds. And life is good.
Yeah, you know, we have fun doing this. We love
We
when
do.
you guys are on. And you know what? We are only about 100 and maybe shy of 200 away from 60,000
Dang.
subscribers on YouTube. So make that happen. Tell your friends.
And shout out to Mark. He said, so inspired by you guys and Thrashin, I bought a second Harley, which is a 2024 Lowrider ST.
Nice.
Yo.
Good job, Mark.
So before we leave, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you drive around and you see a plumbing truck,
Yeah.
when you're riding around, right?
Scoot up a little bit. The autofocus is losing you. There we go.
So when you're riding around and you see a plumbing truck.
Yep.
And maybe I'm not knocking, I'm just asking. Maybe a plumber could answer this for us. Are they all built like that tough shed kind of thing? And why? And who does it?
Wait,
Have
what?
you seen them?
Plumbers in general?
In their trucks, they have these kind of
Oh,
high-
the shed. I thought you meant the plumber as a whole.
No, in their truck, it's like they have a tough shed. It's like
That's their
I know why
workshop.
they need it. It's because they need to get in and
lay pipe.
is that a thing? Are they pipe laying in there?
I don't know. I
Hmm.
really don't.
No, and
I'm
I'm
going to
just
think
like
about that.
I have questions about Sizzler. I wondered, and someone said there's 72 of them, which is great.
I have
Okay.
questions about apple pie. Where the hell can I get apple pie in this country?
We can get you frozen Marie calendars. No
I know I
problem.
can get that.
From Michael Snodgrass, will you guys still be in town June 19th to 21st? We're doing Route 66 and we'll end up then. I don't know. I mean, we might be in California, but I think we'll.
that
that's
might
one
be
of the
Bodie.
rallies.
No, we'll be in town.
19th to the 21st.
Yeah, we'll be in town because we're leaving the 23rd, 22nd to Born Free
Gotcha.
just for the day. So
Yes,
that's
22nd, Born Free.
yeah, we should be around. Come on by.
Yeah, buddy.
But I want to know the plumber question.
Is that like some kind of trick? Or
I don't
why-
know.
why
I
do you-
just see the plumber trucks and they're like a tough shed in the back of the truck.
Huh.
And there's a lot of
But
them.
it's metal.
Yeah,
But it's shaped like a,
like a shed.
yeah.
But there's a lot of trucks like that.
I'm just glad we're able to provide our audience with such valuable conversation.
Should we ask Larry?
Who's Larry?
Larry will tell us.
Andrew's
Oh, what
father.
about Gene? Gene was here today getting a new
I don't
2-lane
see-
life seat.
we should
Gene
ask
has a
Gene
big
about
van,
that.
like a Sprinter van. So he's got the
Okay.
tall van going.
So they've got a tall van.
So a lot of plumbers have long, tall vans that you can stand up and walk around in.
I mean, you got to
Yes.
bend pipes. You got to make sure.
Boy, is
you
this
gotta
show
solder.
shifted. We're now in
Well,
the
I'm just
plumbing.
wondering what the- Isn't that you don't drive down the road and look at the tough shed in the back of the plumber truck and go, does every guy have one of those?
I have.
When you go to apprentice school, do they tell you need one of those for your moving around ability?
It is a requirement. Speaking of which, on Tuesday, we'll be at the bike shed for the Cardo 20-year anniversary event. And we're riding with this guy. Right
Shannon, right there. That's
riding,
it. Stop.
Riding with yogurt. It's
Right there.
opposite because you got to move left and right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of
So,
stuff
yeah.
coming. Get your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Now who's drinking?
I want 60K. 60K
Subscribe.
subscribers.
I'd like us to go backwards.
I think we.
I
kind of been
wonder
going
if
back.
we can talk to someone in the government to get our videos in the school curriculum to start spreading a more positive outlook on how the country is.
I really like that idea.
You know what I mean?
So now we're going to be banned.
Banned in the bad
I'm
states.
talking plumber trucks. I'm not talking about going into schools.
You can talk Harleys.
Yes. All right. Well, we're looking at 59 minutes and 42 seconds. So you got 17 Well, now that I'm done saying, you got 10 seconds. What's
We're
up?
Keep riding out there, you guys. Get
Yeah.
out there, shake hands with America. If you don't go, you won't know. Follow those creeds, and you'll learn and have fun. And we'll see you on the road.
Next week, Grant Peterson from Born Free. The following week, Bill Davidson from the Davidson family. The following week, Nas from Fletcher Street Cowboys.
And
it'll be a good couple of weeks.
With that being said, go ride your motorcycle, shake your neighbor's hand, say hello to a stranger, and if you want to complain about the hat holster, go mow your lawn.
And last but not least, go on your neighbor's yard and do a burnout and wreck their lawn. No, don't do that.
Why would you say that? This
so
is a
mean.
positive show.
Yes.
And shout out to Chris Lopez and SoCal Squatch for the beer money.
Thank you.
So
see you guys.
Appreciate
see you down the road.
Crackles.